Everywhere you can find the light of the world, and upon finding that light, you find yourself. Its existence in speaking needs not express to others, it needs only to express. In other words, the light of action carries the word. Nature doesn't speak to us in words. We form words based on our observations from the actions of nature, and nature proves her mastery to us and shows us her harmony. So we can either watch the show, participate in the show, or do our best to ignore the show. But your present vision is your only vision despite the man-made television. Nature is the only show and you are already part of it. At times you watch the other participants and at other times you participate. The one who is watching is your fellow participant, and their action depends upon your action. You could be scripted in your ways, and so the show becomes predictable. People lose interest in the uniqueness and beauty that is life, and its complexity loses sense. Inversely, you could be yourself, in which you have no role. You become a star ever shining upon the night sky for all to admire in the show. You could be the light of the world, an example of mere being. Never said what you did, all I said is that you be. And being that you are merely being, you again have no script. Our thoughts may come to us, but beyond our thoughts is our corresponding body. A mind without a body has no home, and it will not be on stage, nonetheless express on stage. Stagnant the body, so the mind. Many people expect a script, expect certain expressions, so they stagnate your expression, they ultimately stagnate the show. By attempting to control all things, participants grow unhappy and think more out of control. If a show were to work a certain way, it would have a flow to it, so not to appear as a show, but as a reality. Most would attend this show, and most would see it as impactful and everlasting. And indeed, the show that is nature has its way, which anyone can flow with, unless they need to control otherwise. An audience inspired to be actors, but actors inspired to be stars. They ever last as they find themselves. For to be an actor never implied that one must be fake, but that one must merely act. And for much of action is also inaction. As every exhale requires an inhale, every sense of presence requires an empty space which allows it. Every silence allows the listening. More is gained in less, yet all is gained in nature, and all, being more, is thus less, as is the fact that if nature is everything, it can't be explained in words, it can't be fulfilled in things. It can only best be fulfilled in presence, whichever creates all things in words. Throughout life, it is easy to distract, easy to judge, and easy to conform, yet ever easy it is not to do those things, to simply be if you choose to be. Instead, humanity has chosen the hard route, making it appear easy when in fact it is an actor trying too hard, being something he is not and doing what would otherwise be done better. The show goes on, but you will know which ones go on with it. Thank you very much for watching. This is of course a more allegorical article that I wrote myself about the show of life and the fact that you're in it and you can go with that flow of life, or you can decide to go against it and script your life and try to be someone that you're not in your nature to be. And you'll be putting on this facade that people are not going to like as much as if you were just yourself. Although you might think otherwise. You might think, oh, I gotta put on this illusion, this persona, this ego. I have to attach myself to this thing because it'll make me happy. And people create all these identities, these images, these egos, expectations to try to achieve something. But in reality, when they actually get it, if they ever get it, because it's all just up in the air, they crash, they burn, and then if they lose it, they crash, they burn. It doesn't actually provide them with the happiness they can get if they literally just accepted the nature of their being and the nature of change and reality as a whole, because everything's constantly changing and everybody's all unique. You can try to mold people into your image and your way of how you things should be done, but that's not what reality is, and reality's gonna kick you in the butt if you don't realize that. You know, you're part of the show, but you're not the only person in the show. You're not the only one with the spotlight. Okay, you go get the spotlight by not seeking it. That's the thing. And so, not to go into a tangent, but it's about the meaning of life we're looking at here. We can try to get a hold of everything, even try to find knowledge that suits our agenda, our interest, or find knowledge as a whole because we want to better our lives. And that might sound like a great thing. But there's also time to reflect and think, which allows us to attain that knowledge in the first place, and realizing that that knowledge never ends, and that that knowledge is not the truth itself, and that no matter what you do, you're not going to fulfill the nature of the whole. So at some point in time, you have to be present in order to not just attain knowledge in the first place, but in order to embrace what is, so you're not stuck in illusions, even your own created illusions, through the knowledge that you find, through the identities that you create just naturally on its own. Because naturally you create those identities, but if you start to attach yourself to them, is it really much a natural relationship? Because again, nature is bound to change. You're not going to have to hold on to these things so long. You know, the river keeps moving. You can try to hold on to the branches in that stream, but that stream wants to keep on going. You can try to swim against the stream, and you're just going to end up defeated. So it's about working with the flow of life, and this I'll talk a lot more in my presentation about the Tao and Taoism. So be sure to check that out and just stay tuned for it on your flow of life as you see where it's necessary to say, let's look past these barriers, these black and white definitions. Let's look at the whole, because everything is here for a reason. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to send us your article, we'll turn it into a video for you. It doesn't have to be about just freedom or slavery or hardcore people and events and topics that are going on nowadays. It can be something like this that is meaningful to the heart, as I like to do in my videos. Time, especially just ones talking to the camera, which I actually tend to do better than the green screen videos. So thank you very much for watching. Go to theliberator.us. That's theliberator.us. Take care.